here in Colchester where an addition is being built, and we are talking to the team from Murray Electric.
How many wires can I get into?
Just one.
Just one?
Mm-hmm. Since the pandemic started, there's been a huge building boom. There's also a silver tsunami of retirement. A lot of people are retiring from the trades. So John Murray, who started Murray Electric over 20 years ago, is in the process of passing the business on to Sylas and Ryan.
For one thing, I'd built relationships with a lot of customers. You're working for people for 20 years in their homes, and you've seen them through a lot of different changes in their lives and stuff, and they've seen you in that too.
Full disclosure, John Murray and Ryan and Sylas have all worked on the electrical in my house, and it is true that you build relationships with the people who come to your house. And that's why I thought this would be an interesting story.
Pretty soon after John hired me, he knew he was going to be looking for a successor.
They're both wonderful people, and I'm not sure it would have worked with anyone else just because of the personalities.
John's a very lovable guy, and he's built a good base of customers because of that.
John is definitely that person for me of opening the door and taking a chance on me. Somebody who had zero electrical knowledge.
We're primarily residential electricians. We dabble with commercial when the work's there.
During the pandemic, we've put a lot of saunas and hot tubs in.
But yeah, it's mostly renovations, some new builds, like this is an addition.
Yeah, I've been doing it since, I guess 40 years now. And I worked for the power company in Ireland. So I got trained there. Right out of high school, I could become independent and start making money. I also liked working with my hands, and I'd been exploring different trades. When we came eventually to Burlington, I just loved it here and loved Vermont and decided to stay, and that's about 25 years ago. Mostly me and Kerry then till I met Sylas, and she kind of came on as a full-time employee.
I was originally in the culinary field, then I actually took the course from Vermont Works for Women, step up to carpentry. He said, "Oh, come pull wire with me."
At first I said, well, you can pull wire with us and drill holes, but then I was like, you can do the whole thing.
And then it got to the point where he said, "Hey, you're pretty decent at this. I want to send you to school." And so that was over 10 years ago. So I am a journeyman electrician for Murray Electric.
Oh, big drill.
Everybody likes a big drill.
Yes, they do.
According to Change the Story Vermont, between 2009 and 2013, 576 people trained as electrical apprentices in Vermont. 15 of them were women. And one of those women was Sylas.
Everybody kind of was just like, oh, it must be hard to be a woman in the trades. I've not found it that hard. Any reservations that I have been my own kind of tentativeness.
But these numbers may be changing soon. The infrastructure bill sets aside billions of dollars for apprenticeship programs across the country, with a focus on recruiting women and people of color.
Everybody loves when somebody like them comes to the house to do work. I think it's important because I think a lot of us are told that we can't do a particular job or have a particular career because of the bodies that we're in. If you want to do it, you should do it. Ryan and I went to apprenticeship school together and met.
We were both first-year apprentices together. It's the apprenticeship, it was through Vermont Tech. I recognized that she was the only female there, and I thought that was pretty cool, because I was looking for a friendly face to kind of hang out with at the time.
I kind of knew that he was someone who matched my values in work that I wanted to take this business over with. John Murray is one of those people who means the world to me. He put me on a career path that I had no idea I was going to get into. Oh, absolutely, he's a mentor, yeah.
So learning that business side from John and how to own a business and how to run that was very important.
Light her up.
So I always like the idea of making things better and making things kind of just working in my hands.
Every day is different. Whether it's trying to get a wire from one place to another or trying to troubleshoot a circuit that's not working, simply making people's lives easier, convenience-wise, or coming to the rescue when something's not working.
Like we get to go here and spend the time at this job. Then tomorrow we're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go to Colchester, Charlotte, Burlington. You never really get bored. The amount of people you meet and interact with is really what kind of makes it kind of fun.
Impact my community on a very tangible level.
There's a lot of smart people in trades. You have to be, or else you're not going to make it. Getting into the trades can help because you kind of have a pre-built path. There's already like, you know, you're working on your craft, you're going to school, and you're getting paid for it at the same time. So by the time like you go through 4 years, you're pretty well trained.
But the trade has traveled with me. Like I say, I've worked in Ireland a lot. I worked in New York some. I worked in Boston for 8 years. And I've worked here for 20 odd years. The trades really are portable. People are aging out of the trades, and it's leaving a vacuum. There's opportunities for people to learn skills and valuable skills going forward, whether they're men or women. Like, it's a good paying job, you know, and you can do it regardless of your sex. Brendan Behan has a story called The Confirmation Suit, and we studied that in high school, and one of the lines from it was, "My old man was a tradesman and made money most of the time." And I remember that for like 45 years, you know, make money most of the time. So that sounded like a pretty good deal to me. I had reason to go to the hospital earlier this year, and Sylas and Ryan sat with me, and the doctors referred to them as my family.
As soon as Ryan and I rounded kind of into his view, his face just lit up.
But Sylas and Ryan were both sides of my bed, and they're my family. They're both like, you know, over 40 years of age, and it's kind of ridiculous for me to be, you know, worrying about them, but I can't help it.
Well, do you have kids?
No. Yeah. I'm totally proud of those guys and what we've made it, what the three of us have made it together. Actually, the four of us, because my wife Deb does the books and organises the insurance, does the payroll and everything, so none of it could really happen without the fourth person. He and Sylas work together really, really well, to the point where, like, I'm becoming redundant.
And that was the goal.
That was the goal. So, you know, as much as sometimes I feel like, oh, I should be doing a little more of this, I'm like, no, we're getting to where we need to be.
Thank you, John, Ryan, and Sylas, for keeping the electricity working in my house over the years. And we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon.
Ryan likes to incorporate my name in songs.
I love incorporating people's names.
Sylas Cabana.
That's exactly
You got it.
The sound of silence. The sound of silence.